there, welcome to Sew Let's Sew with Wendy. Thanks for joining me today. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up, and if you can, please subscribe to my video. I haven't posted for a couple of months because I was released from shielding and had to go back to work, which was a real shock because obviously I'd been off for so long because of the pandemic. But I'm back at work now, I'm really enjoying it, and I thought I'd get back to making some videos. Right, so today I'm going to show you how to make this little block here. I call it the Colourful Kisses block. I don't know how I learned where to do this, whether it was from a book or from another video. I think Donna Jordan from Jordan Fabrics does a similar one. I don't think it's quite the same, but it's quite similar. But it's the reason I like this is because it's a real scrap buster. All you need is a background 2.5 by 3.5, and then a colourful one 2.5 by 3.5. So this is a really good scrap buster. I decided to make my friend at work a quilt. Let me just give you the quick lowdown, and here it is, and it's huge. But I promised myself I wasn't going to buy any fabric because I have fabric everywhere at the moment. I've got a scrap bin which is about 3 feet high and it's full, and I thought this can't go on. I'm just putting more scraps in the bin and never using them. So I decided to bite the bullet and make this quilt, and I've made it completely from what I have lying around. And it's not a small quilt. I haven't measured it yet because I'm not quite finished, but it is, well, it'll go on the top of my king size bed, so that's how big it's turned out. You have to do a diagonal seam with these, which I'll just show you in a minute. And I discovered this wondrous stuff called, let me bring it up to the camera, there we go, diagonal seam tape. And this is marvellous. You just line this up with the centre of your presser foot on the machine, stick the tape down, and it allows you to follow the diagonal seam without having to draw a line on the fabric. Anyway, enough of that, let me show you how to do it. Right, so all I'm going to do is just line the fabric up, pop it down, and the idea is you keep the point of the colour on this red line that you can see on the tape. So let me quickly stitch this. And this is what you end up with. And then you fold that back and it makes your block. Right, so I've got my 8 little things stitched, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press them. So I peel it back. Now be careful with this line here because it's on the bias and you don't want to stretch it. So just press it back. I'm going to do it with all of them. Just a quick thing, if you didn't have the tape, you could literally draw a pencil line and then just stitch on it. So you don't actually need the tape. But I started off making this quilt without the tape, and I found that with the tape, the blocks were much more square and evenly, you know, they weren't as messy. Although this quilt is really forgiving. If your 1/4 inch seam isn't just so, or you've gone a bit iggly wiggly, it doesn't matter with this one because you can hide it. I've found actually that it doesn't matter with most quilts. I mean, if you're not entering a competition. Right, so we've pressed them all now, and all we need to do is cut off the excess on the back. Just cutting off, leaving 1/4 inch. Now, if I didn't have such a scrap problem, I maybe would keep these little bits and do something with them. And there is a way actually, if you wanted to keep those bits, if you just ran another seam here, you could cut between the two stitch lines and then you'd end up with a really tiny half square triangle. But as I say, I have that much scrap fabric, I really don't need it. So, and I'll just carry on cutting these and then I'll show you what to do next. Right, I've done all my trimming, so I've ended up with lots of pieces like this. The next stage is to pair them up. I didn't really worry about the colours, and you put them like this, so one going down and the colour at the top. Fold it over and run a stitch. And the next one, exactly the same thing. Put them together, fold it over, run a stitch. I'll quickly go ahead and sew these and then I'll come back to you. Right, so I've stitched them all up, the pairs, and I've just pressed them out. And now all you do is lay them down. So the first one is going to be there, second one there, third one there, and the fourth one there. And literally all you do is you sew that to that, that to that, and then the two rows together, and you end up with that. And as I say, it's such a good quilt to use up all the scrappy bits that you've got left. And I chain piece everything. Yeah, so it's just a really good quilt to make. So I would just trim any edges up that you see there where it's a little bit off. Just trim it away, pop it in your trolley, and then just carry on. So there we have it. It's the what I call Colourful Kisses quilt. Let me just show you the one I've made for my friend at work. It's quite big, and literally this has all been made of scraps. Now I've used white as a background, but you don't necessarily have to. It could actually be anything. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. Hope everybody's well, and like I say, please subscribe to my channel, and it's lovely to have you here. Take care then, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.